Check, check. Great. Alright then, welcome back to F1 Broke Boys. And today we are not commentating on tier 3, as we're commentating on tier 4 this time around. There's good reason for that, because tonight a championship could be decided. Sly DJ, he is the championship leader in tier 4, and he's leading by 32 points going into this race. And there's 3 races left, including this one, so after this only 54 points, I think, still available. And the man second in the championship, actually, is not even here. So the chances of Sly DJ winning the championship are very high. Because the next closest man is Mr. General Drake, who is 65 points behind in the championship. So he's still within a chance of winning the championship, but he will need to gain a lot of points on Sly DJ, which is going to be a difficult task, because Sly DJ has been very, very consistent all season long. He started all the season with 7 consecutive podiums. Then in Singapore he didn't get on the podium, and the race after, last race, he did. So he's got on the podium on every single race apart from one, which is an incredible achievement on its own. But we're going to start off with qualifying. Material Germ is one of the first ones out there. Not the first one, because that is Tom DeVille in the other Kick Sauber, driving alongside the championship leader tonight. What I'm reading in chat right now, there's a possibility of rain in the race. That could make things very interesting indeed. Yesterday in tier 2, which I was driving in, we had rain in qualifying, but in qualifying only. Trying the race. Anyway, Tom is gonna be the first one to start his lap time, although I think his invalidation in the final corner has invalidated this lap as well. So it's gonna be Material Germ then to be the first one to try and set a lap time on the board. Going into turn 1, which is very tricky with track limits already. If you run just a little bit too wide, you get your lap taken or receive a warning in the race. Then this uphill left-hander, very tricky with traction as well, leading on to one of 2 DRS straights. 21.9 is his sector 1 time. Into the hairpin, then a flat out kink to the left and a flat out kink to the right. And then into a very tricky braking zone of turn 8, uphill on throttle. Now we go downhill again. It's a real roller coaster, this track. Flat out to the left, and then to a very blind right-hander with a very late apex as well. Make sure to not hit the curb on the outside as you can and settle the car. As we see the V-carb struggling a bit on the exit, then into the left, a bit of uphill, then all the way down into the penultimate corner, which is a very, very long corner. Really tricky to find the traction. Then coming out of it, then the last corner should be flat out. Not in the rain though, but it is dry. And then it's going to be flat out to the line. Deploy all the battery, even using a bit of the grass. As close to the pit wall as he can. Material Germ across the line. The first lap time on the board is 1:17.578. And let's see who else is behind him. His teammate Lemon is going to cross the line now, and he is 3 tenths behind, or 2.5. And behind is one of the Williams. That is Porsche Boy. He is gone fastest. 17.4. But not for long, as Kainzan in the Aston Martin has gone even faster. Into the 17.3s already. General Jake then goes even faster into the 16s already. After just the first runs. 16.9. Zorro has gone second. And with a 17.0. And then our championship leader, Sly DJ, after his first run, P3 with a 17.1. Brandon has gone up to 6th place, SAP 9. And Scorter P10 into the 118s as we speak. Skulker has invalidated, and we take a look at Tom DeVille, who has gone on for a second lap, it seems. This time, no invalidation. Takes a very wide line though through the final corner. And across the line, 118.9. We'll put him in P11 for now. And the two Red Bulls. And the Raikkonen tonight, it's F1 XTYZ in the Haas. Bocas in the Ferrari. NMX IS1 going out as well. And his teammate with 9 Venom in the other Alpine, who was also on outlap already. Skokiller had invalidated and he's pulling straight back into the pit lane. Venom then, with 12.5 minutes to go, is going to start his lap, his first flying lap, I believe. And behind him is the Ferrari of Bocas. Both of them attempt to set a left on big slide through turn 1. I think he must have hit the inside curb there. Turn 1, it unsettled the car, as he is struggling to keep control over his Alpine. But still remained within the white lines though, 22.6. It's a couple of tenths slower than we have seen already so far. Now into turn 8. And now into the final sector. Just keeping it clean for the rest of the lap. Teammate is also just started a lap. Same for Mitch in the McLaren. And I'm now around the final corner. First lap not gonna be, it's not gonna be too quick, as he had a bit of a moment in sector 1 across the line, 18.4. It's gonna put him in P11. Then we look at the Ferrari of Bocas across the line, and his lap time only good enough for P13 and 119.5. So he must have had a moment as well on his lap. Then it's Mitch, and Mitch is invalidated, so he won't be sending a lap time for now. Teammate Andy for the win. I think he has backed off. It was a 27 in the first sector. It's not competitive at all. NMX IS1, the other Alpine, at the end of his lap as well. Let's see what he can do. It comes out of turn 14 and now into 15, but he invalidates. Ooh, on the penultimate turn on the outside. He is gonna be coming back into the pit lane, probably, or not, as he is gonna stay out. Enough. Zero Germ has invalidated as well, so track limits be quite difficult around here, as it shows so far in this qualifying session. Bocas just improved by 1.3 seconds, and it puts him right behind his teammate, only a few thousandths separating them. P11 for now. Skokiller then, he invalidated his first lap. Senior Peppa has left the session. Not sure what's happened there then. To the final corner, got a lot of ERS left in the battery, can deploy everything onto the straight, might even have a bit of extra. Across the line on 118.236. He's going to put him P12. 0.3 seconds off General Jake. Currently on pole position. The Red Bull of Chetty is also on the lap, or it's on an out lap. quarter then. Can he improve across the line? He can by 1,000th of a second. That's not going to gain him a position, obviously, but very, very minor improvement. Slight DJ then across the line. He goes on to provisional pole, 116.8. That's a big improvement. And he is now back on the front row and on provisional pole position in the most important race of the season for him, as it stands right now. But General Jake is on the lap as well, though he is 1/10 down after the first split. Can he find anything else then throughout the rest of the lap? Now at the end of sector 2. 600s up, that could be very close. He is currently in the advantage. Ahead of Slide DJ, he just needs to nail this final sector as well. General Jake across the line, and he does go faster with 116.858, and it's very close between these two. The two main protagonists today are fighting it out for pole position. 27 thousandths of a second separating them right now, as Ryan's on desperately trying to warm up his tires, it looks like. Main straight. Porsche boy is up by 0.2 of a second. That could get him onto the second row. Currently just over 0.2 behind Kainzan. And he does go faster. 2.5 tenths up, and he puts himself right behind his teammate and ahead of the Aston Martin, who is now on the lap as well, improving by a few hundredths of a second. 200s, 300s. Let's see, at the end of sector 2 he's lost a lot of time here in the middle part of the lap. He's now 1/10 down going into the final sector. Chetty in the meantime has gone up to P8 in the Red Bull. Jake back into the pit lane. Oh, and that's the kick Sauber there of Tom Neville, and I think he's stuck actually, or he's in reverse gear. Can he get his Sauber going again before he gets disqualified? He's waiting to go, and there he goes then. That's coming though, so hopefully he doesn't get into the way. He doesn't. He goes off track and almost spins again. Nice of it, but no harm done for anyone else. Mitch with an invalidation. SA24 2007. Currently in P12. Across the line, it goes up to P8. Good improvement, 4/10. And then it's the two Williams drivers who are under the lap as well. Porsche boy, I think, just started his lap. And Zorro has invalidated as well with just under 5 minutes remaining. Andy for the win. It says purple through the middle sector, he's 7 seconds up, but he went a bit wide through turn 11, I think that is, on the exit. But that will have compromised his run out of the corner, and possibly lost a little bit of time as well. Tom DeVille has retired and left the session. For some reason, it's Andy for the win. Cost of time, P7, big improvement, despite his mistake. Only a few thousandths behind Rip Brannan in P6. Vam speeds into the pit lane. We've got just under 4 minutes remaining. Focus just started another lap. Two Ferraris have dropped down to P15 and 16. Right on board then. Turn 3 and then turn 4 uphill. Bit of a moment mid-corner. compromised his exit. And he lost a lot of time with it, 6 tenths down on his lap, so that is not going to be an improvement. For one of the Ferraris at least. The material germ on another lap as well. The P8, his teammate, P11. Through turns 10 and 11. And he is only marginally down on his time, 300ths. So we need to have a brilliant final sector to make up for it. To the penultimate turn and into the final corner, he's got none ERS left in the battery. And he is not going to pull straight back into the pit and almost drives into the pit wall across the line, and he is not going to improve. 3 tenths down. And I wonder if he has enough time left in the session to go for another lap. Minutes remain, so he can't go back into the pit lane. His teammate, he is up by a few hundredths of a second. Eventually get him up into P10. General Jake still in pit lane, by the way, as Lemon goes up to P10. Now with 1 minute 40, he is going out very late indeed, but he's still got around 20 to 30 seconds margin, so no real problem. Scorer, I think, just has gone up to P14. He has 1/10 improvement. One XTYC had a moment, and I think he was on the lap actually. He was 1/10 up, but he's made a mistake. Spun coming out of turn 11, I think, or no, that's turn 9, turn 8. And he is gonna have to slow down. He can try again though. Seconds remain. Lines on with a good first sector, 4 tenths up in sector 1 already. He's currently 4 tenths behind General Jake, so he's on for a very good lap indeed. And could potentially go for a provisional pole position here. He's used a lot of ERS though. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can find any more time throughout the rest of the lap. 5, almost 6 tenths up. That's a brilliant lap so far for SKG. Kainzan. Can he string it together though? 2 more corners to go. 1 is flat out. The run to the line is here. And the Aston Martin. Can he do it? ERS open to the line. Is it going to be good enough for pole position? It is. 116.7. 1.5 tenths ahead of General Jake. And oh, Sly DJ has invalidated. Our championship leader is not going to improve. Venom has gone up to P5. Then we take a look at Mitch, who is not improving in the middle part of the lap. He is not improved at all. Material Germ not improving either. Brian up to P2. What a lap. Onto the front row he goes. General Jake not improving either. So this could be our front row and the 2 main drivers in the championship. Currently onto the second row. Porsche Boy is not improving either. He's invalidated his lap. Then we look at Andy for the win. He's on a good first sector. 2 tenths up. Bit of a mistake there, almost 4 tenths up now. Lemon across the line stays in P12. SA has retired, or he's not retired, he is invalidated. And then we look at Jetty, who was a bit down on his time. Across the line, goes up into P12, so it's only up to Andy for the win then. Currently P8, what can he do? Goes up to P5, good improvement. General Jake pulls into the pit lane, so it's Kainzan who's on pole position with a brilliant lap in the end, ahead of Rip Bannon. What a front row we are seeing here in Portugal. Certainly not expected. And General Jake will line up in P3. Our championship leader, Sly DJ, P4, he is still there. Handy for the win, by the way, with a 17 dead on his lap. Puts him in P5, ahead of Zorro in Williams, Venom and Bossboy P7 and 8, F1 XTYZ 9, and Material Germ in P10. Say 24 P11, Chetty, Lemon, Skullkiller, Mitch, Scorder, NMX Ice 1, Bocus, Tom Neville, and Senior Pepin rounds out the top 20. That's qualifying done and dusted. And now the race remains. It's dry for now, actually. So I read that someone said that it was going to rain in the race. For now, at least, it is dry and sunny skies over the Portimao circuit. But who knows? Might rain towards the end of the race. Very interesting indeed. Strategy wise, if it's completely dry, it should be straightforward. It should be soft to medium or medium to soft. Really want to use the hards around there. You'd expect with such a fast and flowing track that the tire is quite high, but it's actually not. The softs are pretty good around here. Actually do a lap 10, 11, 12 even on the softs. About 33 laps ahead of us. 33 laps to potentially decide the championship. F1 XTYZ says rain in the last bit of the race, so we could see some rain then at the end, and it can throw a spanner in the works then. Be a very spicy end to this race then. Around 2 minutes time we will get this race going. Front row is on the softs, the second row is on the mediums, the third row is on the softs, the fourth row is on the mediums, then F1 XTYZ is on the softs, and then a lot of drivers on the mediums, apart from the last three. So but Tom DeVille and Senior Pepper, they are not driving, they're not in the lobby, so might be racing then with 18 drivers instead of 20. So F1 XTYZ is on the softs, and he said that it's going to rain at the end of the race, so he thinks that rain is going to come sooner, around halfway into the race. So I would still pick the mediums. That would be true. Or it could get very late in the race. We will see. And Bocus is going to start on the hard, so that is an interesting choice. because the tire grip is not really high on the hards. Here we go then. The 5 red lights. Kainzan and Rip Brennan on the front row. The lights are out and it seems to be a good start from the Aston Martin. It is a good start from the Aston Martin. It's a brilliant start from the Aston Martin. Brennan has a poor start. He's already under pressure from General Jake from behind, trying to go along around the outside. That is not going to work out. And Slide DJ has already lost the position, down to P5. Aston McLaren has got ahead. There's a bit of a kerfuffle here through the second phase of this start. 2 turns 3 and 4. Slide DJ goes around the outside of the McLaren, back into the position where he started. P4. We almost go 3 wide there with the 2 Williams drivers and F1 XTYZ having a go at Porsche Boy P7. He has switched to the mediums, by the way, so here we go then with the tires. Someone going really wide there, but that's Venom in the Alpine. I think he lost a lot of position. Oh, and around goes Porsche Boy and the Williams. Into the gravel goes Mitch. So the Williams down to P16 then. He has made contact with someone there. Potentially the Haas there of F1 XTYC is up to P6. Had a brilliant start, 3 positions up, P9 to P6. And Mitch, he is the other victim of this start, down to P20 from 15th on the grid. Down in front, it remained the same. SKG Kainzan leads this race ahead of Ripwen and General Jake and Slide DJ. Top 4 has remained the same. Andy for the win in P5. Then we got Zoro and F1 XYZ trying to go along around the outside. There's contact between the two, but they remain pointing in the right direction somehow. But all the good work has become undone there for the Haas, as F1 XYZ is down to P10, P9, as he re-overtakes the V-carb of Material Germ, who is now under pressure from Chetty, who is going to send it up the inside into the hairpin. And he is going to get that position as the Aston Martin gets all out of shape on the exit. That is SA 24, and Chetty is going to potentially go up the inside. Very close for contact there as we go into turn 8. All well then, Zorro P7. Venom has made up from his poor start. He's back up into P6, but he's outside of the DRS then of the top 5. And oh, General Jake with a bit of a moment there as well, but the top 2 have driven away. Kainzan and Brennan, 2.5 seconds to the Mercedes of General Jake. As we see Chetty and Asa going wheel to wheel once again in the final corner. The Red Bull on the inside, the Aston Martin on the outside. And it seems like the Aston Martin has the greater straight line speed. Yellow flags. Oh, what's happened there then to Venom? He's crashed on the main straight. He is pointing in the wrong direction. Surely he made contact with someone, because he has crashed on the straight, which is quite unusual. Has all sorts of position changes here. SA down to P11. He lost a lot of positions there as well. Now under pressure from Porsche Boy. Way too late on the brakes, goes a bit wide. And losing even more, someone into the grass. That is F1 XTYZ into the grass, into the gravel. Here around Portugal, down to P9. What is going on in the opening stages of this race? It's all kicking off. It's a bit of a lag fest, I must say. And hopefully that's only from my perspective and not from the driver's perspective. Aston wheel to wheel with the Aston Martin. Doesn't quite get the exit right. And he's now down to P12, P13. Scored now up the inside as well. Oh, contact between the two, and the Ferrari almost goes round. But he manages to save the car. Does lose 2 more positions though, down to P15. As Brennan with the fast lap of the race, and Brennan is going to take the lead of this race up to lap 4 into turn 1, and the Haas has taken the lead from the Aston Martin. Got a new race leader, Rip Brennan, ahead of Kainzan, and it's 3.3 seconds now to the Mercedes. Slide DJ still following him behind. Then Andy for the win and Zorro going at it, both of them on the softs. The 2 cars are fun, are both on the medium, so should want to get past both of these as soon as possible. Venom into the pit lane as he had sustained damage after his spin last lap on the main straight. So wheel to wheel once again here in the background. Scorter and Mitch wheel to wheel. The McLaren on the outside, and that is not going to work out. And Scorter up the inside, and he makes contact with S11, and Mitch, because of that, has to avoid and goes into the gravel down to P18. But Scorter now down to P19. That's the second time he's made contact in just one lap time. Venom has gone onto a set of hards. As we see Kainzan re-overtaking Brennan, these two working together at the front to try and create a gap as big as possible to the medium runners. So they haven't gained much time on this particular lap. Cyril Germ ahead of SA in the Aston Martin. And now finds himself inside the top 10. And there goes Poshboy up the inside of Lemon. There's yellow flags out, and that is Skokiller who's had a moment. And he has spun, presumably coming out of turn 4. Or did he make contact? With this, he is down to P19. Ooh, Lemon there with a big slide coming out of turn 11. Almost going into the wall there. E-Corp. Now enter lap 6. And is Brennan once again gonna go for the overtake? He is. Into turn 1. Brennan retakes the lead of this race once again. Ooh, it hits the curb though on the inside, which unsettled the car a little bit on the back end. And actually, General Jake and the drivers behind him are catching the two leaders here. The gap last lap was just over 3 seconds, and now it's 2.5, 2.6 as these two switch positions once again. They're fighting it out here. Red Brennan with a beautiful switchback to retake that position as Kainzan had sent it up the inside into turn 5. Brennan with the old switcheroo retakes that position. The gap now down to 2.3 to the Mercedes. Jetty and Poshboy both Red Bull drivers, though Poshboy is a tier 5 Red Bull driver. Jetty in tier 4. Fighting out here for P7. The Williams very close to the back end of the Red Bull. We're going to see a change of lead once again. I think we are onto lap 7 as the Aston Martin pulls out, and he's going to slot back in front of the Haas and Kainzan back into the lead of this race. Here comes Porsche up the inside of turn 1. That's a good move to pull it off on a turn where overtaking is very difficult. It's very it's very difficult to go side by side through turn 1 with that inside curb being there and the track limits on the outside. But Porsche has pulled it off and is now up at the P7. Skokiller has also pitted, so he must have had damage. He's gone on to a set of mediums. Running around in P20 though, unfortunately. Not the start he was looking for. But it is the start that he got, unfortunately. Kainzan and Rip Brennan. 2.2 separating the Haas and the Mercedes. Rip Brennan once again with the DRS, but this time he's not quite close enough, or is he? He's going to pull alongside. No, he's not. He's going to stay behind, which is going to cost him a little bit of time to the Mercedes, down to 2.4, 2.3 again. And the softs really last around 12 laps or so. they haven't really gotten a great advantage over the medium runners. 2.5 seconds. Yellow flags around once again. Is that Andy for the win has had a moment? Yeah, he has. Coming out of turn 4. And he's completely lost the connection then to the top 5. But he has remained in position though, P6. Barely ahead of Chetty and Posh Boy. Having a look up the inside there of Chetty, who has got ahead there of the McLaren, going 3 wide. Posh Boy with the double overtake. What a move! Up the P6 as Handy for the win at the moment once again. Coming out of turn 11. And Chetty went for the outside, but Posh Boy slipped underneath and took both positions up at the P6. Very well executed there by the Williams. As he's now put himself ahead of the McLaren though. And the McLaren is going to pull to the pit lane. Andy for the win at the end of lap 9, or even for lap 8. He's going to go into the pit lane. His softs are clearly not working anymore. Well, let's see what he's going to put underneath his McLaren. It is going to be a set of hards there. And that is interesting. Because the rain should be coming in this race. So he thinks that the rain is not coming anytime soon. Or maybe not at all. Opted for a set of hards. Zorro now with a 3-second time penalty. Something he has to worry about though. Because the gap behind him is 10 seconds to his teammate in this race. Though with potential safety cars later on, it could become an issue for him. And at the front end, Kainzan has built a gap towards Brennan. 1.2 seconds it is. Brennan not within the DRS range anymore. And he's now slowly getting under pressure from behind. General Jake now 1.7 behind. Sly DJ still holding on to his rival. DJ also knows that if he finishes here, he will still be world champion. So let's just take it very calmly. He doesn't need to take any risks in this race. Just needs to finish inside the points, and I think that should be good enough for him to clinch the title as long as General Jake doesn't win and Sly DJ finish around P8 or P9. As it stands, he is on course to win the Tier 4 Drivers' Championship. He can afford to lose 11 points or 10 points to General Jake. So let's keep that in mind for the remainder of this race. General Jake has almost caught up with Rip Brennan. Is he going to be within DRS range or not quite? 1.0. It's going to be very tight. Exactly 1 second from him, but I think that was the line that we just went over. So is he going to have the DRS? He has got the DRS, so that's going to be very crucial for him, as Zorro is going to pull into the pit lane as well. To lap 11, he's got clean air behind, clean air in front. Oh, Sly DJ with a 3-second time penalty. And that is not ideal. His chances of finishing ahead of General Jake. Then again, he doesn't need to, as General Jake is going to pull on the inside of Rip Brennan, and he is going to get up into P5. Though his exit not quite right, and Brennan still holding on there. Normally don't want to go wheel to wheel through this turn, and the Haas driver is going to back out. So that is General Jake then up into P2. SA and F1 XTYZ going wheel to wheel through turn 7, but the Aston Martin remains in front of the Haas. So we see the Alpine and the V-Carb going wheel to wheel as well. Material Jump versus NMX IS1 into turn 11, and the Alpine stays in front. Oh, and that is F1 XTYZ has had a moment on the exit of turn 11. It's not the first time we've seen it in this race, with someone having a moment coming out of 11. If you hit that curb on the outside, it can really unsettle your car and almost throw you into the barrier. So far we've only seen near misses though. Meantime, Sly DJ, he's got past for Brennan. General Jake towards race leader Kainzan. And that is Sports Boy into the pit lane from softs to mediums on lap 12. Solo on his new mediums gets ahead of Focus with ease. As the gap at the front end is starting to shrink, 2.2 in P1 and P2. Kainzan still continuing on. Is Brennan gonna pull to the pit lane? He is. On to lap 13. Yeah, he's presumably going to go on to set of mediums as well. Now with a 3-second penalty. Yeah, as I said before, the track limits are very difficult around here. Big factor in races around Portugal. Brennan, and he is going to come out in P12, P13 right behind Zorro, who has pulled the undercut then on the Haas. Did it 2 laps earlier. This leaves only Kainzan out there to be one on softs who hasn't pitted yet. As the other 2 are AIs, so take them into account. 1.8, 1.7. The gap is coming down. Be a strategic rhyme. Softs to mediums versus mediums to softs. Well, oh, Kainzan spins, loses control going into the pit lane, and that has cost him quite some time there, because his game had to reset him. So he might have lost a second or 2 with that moment, but he's fortunately enough not got any damage to his front wing. But is that going to put him behind Brennan as he's going to come out of the pit lane? The gap was quite substantial though to the Haas. He is now going to come out in a bit of traffic into turn 1. He's got a V-gap on the outside, who has to take avoiding action going off track. But he comes out in P10. And Brennan is behind these 2. He's not helping at him. Oh, Zorro into the side there of scored, and a bit of contact between these 3. Zorro trying to get past the Ferrari. Is on the outside, and Brennan up the inside, 3 wide into turn 5. Is that gonna go well? There's a bit of contact. Zorro losing out on the exit. Wheel to wheel now with the Haas up ahead. Kainzan is trying to get past the material gym. That's not gonna work out either. But Brennan with the double move up into P11. He's now right behind Kainzan again. So in the end, Kainzan has lost a lot with that moment in pit lane. But they are struggling to get past the material germ in the V-Garb here. Who's holding him up? Oh, Brennan up the inside, but Brennan hits the curb. Now he's got Zorro around the outside again, so what turned into an opportunity to overtake has now lost him a position. Down to P12 again. He's got a Williams now in between himself and the Aston Martin, who's now going to pull out. Kainzan is going to get ahead, almost 4 wide on the main straight. Zorro around the outside. But the Aston Martin is going to pull in front. Brennan now has got ahead of Zorro as well, as the material germ has lost 3 places then onto the main straight. Down to P12, Zorro P11, Brennan P10, and Kainzan in P9. But under immense pressure though from behind, as Brennan is going to pull to the inside into turn 5. The inside of the Aston Martin. Wheel to wheel we go once again is going to get the better exit. Kainzan is going to have the inside line, and he's going to remain in front of the Haas. All this battling is going to cost them, compared to Sly DJ and General Jake. So by the way, in the meantime, Sly DJ has taken the lead of this race on track. He's found a way past the Mercedes. Now near the halfway point of this race. F1 XTYZ now into the pit lane. So here comes Kainzan, and he is going to get ahead of NMX Ice1. Brennan up the inside as well, sends it up the inside, but he gets the job done. And Zorro as well, so Ice1 losing 3 positions as the Williams of Zorro under braking. Completely loses control for the back end, and the Alpine gets back in front of him again. So Zorro now back down to P10. No, the Alpine goes a bit deep into turn 5, but he is able to stay in front for the time being. Skorky there gets past Venom for a P19 in this race. Meanwhile, Kainzan has got ahead of Mitch already, slicing his way through the field. But now he is going to have some clean air, because the next car is 2.2 seconds ahead. It's his teammate. I hope it's not going to make his life very difficult. Sly DJ and General Jake are very close to each other. But General Jake knows that he doesn't need to overtake Sly DJ as he has a penalty. As Mitch now into the pit lane. Ooh, and I think that's Material Germ and Score both with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. As Mitch goes out of his pit box inside the V-car, and Material Germ unfortunately not going to be able to get his penalty removed. Neither is Scorter. They will keep this penalty until the next pit stop or the end of the race. Yeah, both of them with a 10-second time penalty. And Kainzan has got ahead of his teammate, and he's got quite a bit of a gap to Rip Brennan. 1.4 is Rip Brennan behind SA24. He is quickly closing that gap, of course, with the fresher, better tires as General Jake re-overtakes. Sly DJ goes wide though. I think he backed off to ensure he doesn't get a time penalty or a track limit warning. The pit window around here for the mediums is around lap 21. So the leading two, they will be coming in quite soon. Still no rain to be seen at all in this race. Yeah, there are some clouds, but none of them dark enough to throw some rain onto the circuit. Now, so Brennan has now got ahead of SA24 as well, and he's now back within DRS range of Kainzan actually, so he has closed the gap. Towards his main rival in this race, the one who is on the same strategy. Kainzan now closing the gap towards Lemon as well. He's got within the DRS range. Yeah, Sly DJ almost didn't. Oh, he hasn't got the DRS. But he is closing the gap though, so he might be running a bit of a lower wing setup then. As Chetty is going to pull into the pit lane on lap 19, quite early for the mediums. Rip Brennan, fastest lap of the race. Chetty goes onto the softs. Meantime, Kainzan has got ahead of Lemon. And Brennan has lost time again to the Aston Martin. 1.5 seconds again. Jetty is going to come out on P10 in a lot of clean air, which is very good news for him, as he's going to now try and chase after the cars in front. Toto gets ahead of the Aston Martin. P6. And now very close to the back of the V car. It's not easy to overtake around here, especially not in this middle sector. Gonna wait for the DRS straight. Yellow flags are out for Porsche Boy. Oh, and he's hit the wall. He spun coming out of turn 11. And he's hit the wall then, damage to his front wing. And he's gonna have to come in to get it repaired. But Porsche Boy has spun and hit the wall then. From a point scoring position in this race, he was running inside the top 10. He's having a pretty good race, and he is continuing on actually, so damage big enough for him to think that he should repair it. He's lost his right end plate. At least you can see already he's running wide through turn 1. I also see the gap between Kynes and Brennan and Slight DJ and General Jake at 17.5 seconds. The pit window or the pit time you lose, I think, is around 21 seconds. So stands Kynes and Brennan will both be ahead of General Jake and Slight DJ, but these two will have the tire advantage. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they're going to be able to catch up and re-overtake. As Bokus has got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Not sure how he's got that. He's also had a moment coming out of turn 8. Surely that's a glitch in the game. But he's driving very slowly. These hards for 19 laps. As Chetty now sets the fastest lap of the race, he's on the softs. But as it stands, no one else has pitted from the mediums. 5 drivers out there who have been on these mediums for the entirety of the race. That being the top 2, and then Lemon SA24 and NMX IS1 as F1 XTYZ gets another penalty. Having a great race, Irish on the hards in P12. Struggling to keep his car within the white lines. I'm not sure what's going on with the Ferrari of Bokus. He's down to P20. He is driving very slowly. Slight DJ into the pit lane on lap 21 onto 22. General Jake is still staying out though, as it's getting cloudier actually, so is the rain coming? But Slight DJ is not going to wait for it. He is going to pull into the pit lane, and he's going to pull. He's going to put on the set of softs. And let's see where he comes out. He's behind Zotto, Brennan, and Kynes, of course. And he's going to come behind Lemon as well. So P6 for him. But if the rain's coming soon, then that could be very bad news for Sly DJ then. And General Jake, if he's going to pit at the end of this lap. Or can he stretch his mediums? That is the question. SA24, 3-second time penalty, as well as General Jake. He is going to continue on. So could we see a strategic masterclass around here where he is gonna extend his stint until the rain. Sly DJ is gonna overtake Lemon. He's back up into P5, into the top 5. Got to the DRS though, he's overtaken V-Cup in a very unorthodox place. Actually, the V-Cup's got DRS, so Lemon could try and re-overtake Sly DJ, but he isn't. He's gonna stay behind us. The Ferrari is taking some interesting routes. Sly DJ with another 3-second time penalty. The championship might not be over yet, because if General Jake wins this race and Sly DJ is finishing P5, the championship is gonna go on to the next race at least. Johnson has absolutely dropped Brennan and Zorro. 6 seconds. General Jake still staying out. Skulker has retired from the session in pit lane. He is our first retirement after 23 laps, which is a great achievement, I must say. Is still out there on track. Also put it on a set of softs. 10 laps to go. Who is it gonna be? Brennan and Zorro switching positions. Zorro gets ahead of the Haas. There's the Red Bull coming out of the pit lane. Very awkward. Into the path there of the Williams and the Haas. DJ has been set free though to chase after Brennan and Zorro. Caps 2.8. SA24 up into P11 again. So the Haas back up the inside of F1XDYZ. He goes a big deep, and the Aston Martin tries to go long way around the outside. Contact between the two, and the Haas gets ahead of the Aston Martin again. More contact between the two of them. XDYZ stays ahead now. Oh, and the rain. There is the rain. So General Jake, he has played this to perfection as Brennan and Zorro go wheel to wheel in the final corner. The rain is falling. The rain has arrived, and General Jake has got an advantage of 11.5 seconds over Kainzan. Championship is not over till it's over. That it was SA24 had a moment, getting very slippery out there, and NMX Ice 1, he's gonna be the first one to go into the pit lane and put on a set of intermediates. We've got 8 laps to go as it's starting to get treacherous around here. Very slow paced as the rain is getting quite significant. All about staying on track. General Jake is continuing on. He doesn't think the Inters are the fastest tire yet. But let's keep an eye out on NMX Ice 1. He is the only one at the moment on Inters, as Book is with another moment. Grinds on, continues on. Then it's Zorro, Brennan and Sly DJ. And Brennan is going to pull into the pit lane, as does Sly DJ with a very late call. But he is going to go into the pit lane on lap 26. It could become very important in this race, because if Sly DJ finishes on the podium with General Jake winning, he will still secure the championship, as he can afford to lose 10 points. DRS has been disabled. That is usually the sign that Inters are the way to go. Also, I keep forgetting we are using a different point system. So if Sly DJ finishes in P3, he is guaranteed champion. He has got that 6-second time penalty. And with a 10-second penalty for speeding a pit lane, everyone is coming in. Starts from the session now. Got permanent yellow flags around here. Oh, General Jake, 10-second penalty. 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Has he just thrown away his win? He had an advantage of 12 seconds to Kainzan, and that will become 12. No way! No fucking way. Sorry for causing there, but Kainzan with a 10-second penalty as well. What is going on in this race? And Zorro as well. Oh my goodness me, what am I witnessing? The entire top 3 just caught a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. This is unbelievable scenes. Brennan is now gonna, well, potentially get up into P2. He is at the moment in P3, but he is 18 seconds behind General Jake, but he's within the 10-second range of Kainzan. But this has actually just saved General Jake, because Kainzan's got a 10-second penalty as well. So it doesn't matter if Kainzan is within 10 seconds or not. He will still win. So at the moment, General Jake is doing enough to extend the championship towards Canada next week. General Jake 65 points behind Sly DJ, with 54 points up for grabs after this race. Six laps to go. General Jake leads by 14 seconds over Kainzan. And it's all about Sly DJ potentially getting within 10 seconds of Kainzan. At the moment he's 9.6 behind, but he's got that 6-second time penalty, so he needs to gain, well, 6 more seconds basically to secure himself that spot on the podium. And Zorro behind. Oh, he's got a 10-second penalty. I'm not sure, don't have to worry about Zorro, and he's got multiple penalties as well. So the eyes are on this man, Sly DJ. He needs to pull off a miracle. As this P4 at the moment is not enough to secure him the championship tonight here in Portugal. Five laps to go, and General Jake going faster and faster. He is flying out there in the rain. 15 seconds towards Kainzan now. Yeah, let's just put the penalty counter. Oh wow, 3-second penalty for Kainzan. It's getting intense now. Sly DJ is 10 seconds behind the Aston Martin. He needs to be within 7 seconds. Getting close, it's getting very close indeed. With 4.5 laps to go. Sly DJ is also under pressure from behind, because he's got Zorro in the Williams, keeping him company. While struggling for grip as well. He's now 10.6 seconds behind the Aston Martin, as he's losing time. The hope for a miracle or the championship is going to go into Canada next week, where I'm sure he would be able to clinch the title. As General Jake wins and Sly DJ scores no points, which hasn't happened at all this season so far. He's finished inside the top 10 in every race. He finished on the podium in all but one race. So it might be all but two, as he's currently running in P4. Now under immense pressure from behind, Zorro is very close to the back of the Kick Sauber. 3.5 laps to go. Looks like General Jake might have just done enough, as Boy has retired from the session in the pit lane. And I'm not sure why, because he was in P10. Was in a good points position. So strange decision there by the Williams. Three laps to go. General Jake, very comfortable out there. He's got almost 17 seconds towards Kainzan. So even if Kainzan didn't have a penalty, he would still very easily be able to bring this win home. So always 3/10 within striking distance. Deploys the ERS, but he's not quite close enough to go for the move just yet. Have to stay behind for a little while longer, but Slide DJ, best line towards turn 1, sliding around. Difficult conditions. Now on the exit, the Williams is going to pull alongside Zorro on the inside. Into turn 5 we go, and Williams is going to get ahead of the Kick Sauber. Slide DJ down to P5, though he knows that he just needs to stay within 7 seconds of the Williams, so P4 will be his. But he also knows that it is not enough right now to secure him the Tier 4 championship. 2 laps to go. On to the penultimate lap of this race. General Jake still leads. As gap keeps extending towards Kainzan. Desperately trying to create a gap towards Brennan, but 7.3 seconds isn't going to be enough. Brennan is going to take that second place. Which I'm sure he will be very pleased with. 18 seconds. General Jake is on fire in this race. To win this race by 15 seconds over Brennan. To be fair to Brennan, he's one of the few drivers, actually he's the only driver to not get a time penalty. And one of two to not get a track limit penalty. The other being General Jake, of course, got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Neville and Senior Pepper, they are not driving in this race. They're not last actually, which is quite impressive. So Scorer is going to get ahead of both of them in a moment's time, though with a 13-second time penalty. Looks like Sly DJ is just taking it home. Secure that P4 and take the championship next week in Canada. where he only needs to score minimum points in order to clinch the title, which we go now onto the final lap of this race. General Jake in the Mercedes. He's been on a run lately, as he's won the last race as well in Texas. He's won the race before that in Singapore. Finished P4 before in Spain. And on the podium in Saudi Arabia, the mystery race. 4 top 4 finishes in the last 4 races. And 2 wins among them. And he's going to extend his streak to 3 consecutive wins, as he is going to come around the final corner. General Jake in the Mercedes is going to do enough to win the Portuguese Grand Prix. General Jake wins with a commanding performance, 19 seconds ahead of Kainzan. He wins by a distance. SKG Kainzan is going to cross the line to finish second on the road, but that second place will not last for long, because he's got a 13-second time penalty, so that second place will go to Rip Brennan with a phenomenal performance as well. No penalties, second place on the grid, to second place in the race. Soto finishes P4 on track, but that will turn into P5 as Sly DJ P4, unfortunately not quite enough to secure him the championship today, but he's put himself in a very strong position to win it next week. Lemon finishes in P6 ahead of Chetty. Then it's Andy for the win, but he will lose out to NMX Ice 1. He's finishing P8. F1XTYC crosses the line in P10, and then we wait for SA24 in the Aston Martin in P11. But what a performance we've seen from General Jake, 18 seconds, even with a 10-second time penalty. Absolute domination. SA24 in the end, P10, F1XTYC P11, then it's Mitch in 12, and Scorter, the last one, to cross the line in P13. But what a race we've seen here in Portugal. No VSCs, no safety cars, but a brilliant race, as MX Ice 1 has got the rival today, given by the game. We look at the podium, with the Mercedes on top for the 3rd consecutive race. General Jake is on a roll, but it might be coming a little bit too late in the championship. Here we see the final standings from P3 on the grid to P1 in the race, and Kainzan went the opposite route, and Brandon just stayed the same. That's where he was. Fast lap of the race goes towards Chetty. That will get him 1 extra point. Kainzan with the extra point for pole position. Slide DJ P4. And I think he only needs to score a few points next race to secure the championship. But he hasn't done it tonight yet. But I'm sure he will next week. But that's it then for tonight. 4 retirements. 13 or 14 finishers. And a great race we have seen. Next week it will be the penultimate round of the season in Canada, where we will see probably the championship being decided. Anyway, that's it for me for tonight. Next week I will likely be doing tier 3 again, although I cannot confirm it. That's probably gonna happen. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.